Hello and welcome to the instruction video for Assessment 3B in KCB 205 Professional Communication. In this one, I'll look at the last individual assessment 3B, which is Team and Peer Appraisal. We are going to cover the assessment guidelines, but also the reflective practice approach, which is an important part of this assessment. But let's start with the details around the assessment. To revisit lectures from week 8 and 9 will be very helpful in this assessment. And of course, read up on these topics in BCom as well. As always, detailed information is found on Blackboard and in the remaining tutorials, running from week 11 to week 13. So this is a little typo. We're running tutorials all the way including week 13. So this piece of assessment is worth 15% and refers to learning outcome number 1 and 2, and it must be completed individually. Due date is week 13, Friday the 26th of October at 11:59 p.m. You find all this information and more on Blackboard, so read it carefully. At the top of the page, you find the submission link. So this is obviously where you submit your individual document. Use this link at the top of the page and name your document, your full name and student number. So for example, Anderson Anna 12345.pdf. So in this last individual assessment, you are asked to apply a reflective practice approach when evaluating your own and your team members' performance in the teamwork over the semester. So do this by creating a document based on the instructions in the task sheet. And this is where you find and can download the task sheet for this individual assessment. This is also where you find all the details and information about the task. And if you have any questions, bring them to lecture or to tutorial. So this is the task sheet. It's the instructions and questions you need to work on to pass Assessment 3B. Let me walk you through it section by section. So your first task is to create, design and format a professional document. The document you submit will be very short, but all requested sections must be included to prove that you can create, design and format a professional document. All instructions on how to do just that are presented in the week 8 to 9 lectures. The week 8 focusing on document design and week 9 focusing on professional writing. So basically, the same instructions as for Assessment 3A are relevant here, meaning your individual document must also have a professional title page, table of contents, correct pagination, and be professionally formatted. In question 2A, you are asked to use Tuckman's model to explain how productivity and team morale developed in your team over the semester. So if you only give a generic presentation of Tuckman's model or only give general explanations of productivity and team morale in any teamwork situation, you will score 0. In question 2B, you must answer all 3 questions with a strong connection to your KCB 205 team experience this semester. If you only give a generic presentation of constructive feedback in any team situation, you will score 0. The last piece of this individual assessment is self and peer appraisal. How well did your team members perform in the teamwork? So only reflecting on, for example, team members' meeting attendance, writing or oral presentation skills will score you 0. The observations must be from a concrete teamwork situation you have experienced this semester in KCB 205. So apply a reflective practice approach, and I will get back with detailed information about what that exactly means very soon. So for each team member, including yourself, give a score out of 10 and then justify this score by giving examples of key strengths and weaknesses for this person in your team situation. Finish by identifying one new learning or recommendation for each person. And if you are a team of 2, please present 3 new learnings or recommendations per team member. If you're a team of 3, present 2 new learnings per team member. And if you're a team of 5, present all team members with 1 new learning each. And if you are a team of 4, of course, identify 1 new learning for each of you. The word limit is 100 words per team member. And when you're done, it might look like something like this. Previous students' examples will be shared in lecture week 10 and tutorial week 11. So your score for assessment 3B will be presented on the same CRA sheet as your team document, but on a separate second page. And it looks like this. As mentioned before, this individual piece of assessment is worth 50% of the entire unit. Due date is Friday the 26th of October, week 13, 11:59. The same due date as the team document. So before we're closing the instruction video for assessment 3B, team and peer appraisal, let's spend a few minutes on reflective practice approach. As mentioned earlier, this is the approach you are asked to apply in the last section of assessment 3B, the self and peer appraisal. A reflective approach is the use of self-analysis to understand, evaluate, and interpret events and experiences we are involved in. So this enables us to form a theoretical view or analysis that could allow a clear explanation to others and ourselves. So this process aims to enable insights and aid new learnings for new personal understanding, knowledge, and action, and to enhance our self-development and future professional performance. And of course, there are different techniques and models to do just that. And these are a few examples. And I will elaborate on this more in the week 10 lecture. But to simplify in this instruction video, it comes down to describing a situation, interpreting and connecting it to a theory, and eventually, finally, identify new learnings. For assessment 3B, I suggest you use these very simple but effective model of reflective practice by answering these 3 questions for each of your team members. This is your self and peer appraisal, the last task of assessment 3B. What happened? What does it mean? And what needs to happen next? In this assessment, we ask you to be specific. Analyze your KCB 205 teamwork and experiences from this semester. And then from this, identify new learnings for the future, both for yourself and for your team members. Past student examples will be shared in tutorial week 11. So to conclude, the reflective practice approach must be applied in your self and peer appraisal section of Assessment 3B. And a more elaborated version of the Assessment 3B instructions and on reflective practice approach will be presented in lecture week 10. We can discuss all these points in more details in the remaining lectures and or in the upcoming team consultations running in tutorials from week 11 all the way through including week 13. Remember, to do well in Assessment 3B, you must reflect on your own team experiences in this unit. General reflections or examples not related to your KCB 205 teamwork experience this semester will unfortunately score you 0. Okay, good luck!